All right, guys, welcome to the Unfiltered podcast. We got Josh with us again. You guys have been requesting him, so let's get it. All right, guys, welcome back. I hate fucking weekends, bro. It makes me feel like I took like too much off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, guys, welcome. We got Josh in the building. Shout out to him.
Yep.
The big homie, the top G, Josh.
Highly requested. Welcome to Motivation Monday, and today we're gonna talk about what Forex.
Yeah, Forex, music, life, psychology, man, mentality it takes to win.
Yeah, guys, make sure you go ahead and ask any questions that you may have in the chat for Josh and for myself, for Basil, and even for Anwar. Anwar, can you do me a favor too, bro? Can you turn up my mic up a little bit more, please? The headphones. All right, guys. So today for Motivation Monday, let's talk about Forex, bro.
Yeah, man. So I mean, it's what set me free.
Yeah.
So that's been my my major key to me. It's what allowed me to kind of break free from the matrix, if you will.
Mhm.
So yeah, and now I've been doing it for about 2 years. And first year was like bumpy, and then within the last year it's been a blessing. So figured out some back end kind of sauce and certain keys that some people don't know how to utilize and certain people do, and got in touch with those certain people and made them my mentors, and yeah, never looked back. And now I'm here in Miami and
Fuck with it.
living my life. So.
For the people that don't know what it is, can you explain it? What Forex is?
Yeah, so Forex is short for foreign exchange, and I am really more of an indices trader, which is just a little different detail. But yeah, foreign exchange is essentially you're swapping you're buying or selling the differences of currencies compared to one another in their value, if that makes sense. So if one value is increasing in value and you buy that currency opposed to another one, then you make money. Or if you sell one that's losing value in opposed to the other currency, then you make money. I do more like indices trading, so it's still considered Forex trading, but you're trading indices instead. And that's where you trade conglomerates of stocks such as US 30, NAS 100, and those are, for example, the top 30 companies, stocks in America, and then the top 100 as well. So yeah.
Okay, what's the difference between stock market and the Forex?
Stock is like typically, I mean, it's really just, for me, how I see it is just the volume. So I dabbled in the stock market a little bit here and there, but my bread and butter is definitely more Forex based. So because the leverages are better, you can use other people's money easier. It's just, for me, there's more liquidity in the Forex market. The Forex market is a $6 to $8 trillion a day traded market. So it's the biggest market in the world. This is what the banks really do with your savings accounts. Like,
Interesting.
they invest, they trade the foreign exchange markets. They don't necessarily invest in some company. They trade the Forex markets.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell you a little bit about what. So I've always been hesitant to do Forex because like I've heard so much good stuff about it, but it was like, man, this shit's too good to be true. Like I hear stories about people like saying like, yo, I made like 400 in 2 minutes type shit,
Right.
and
Yeah.
I made like 5,000. You know what I mean? I'm like, hold up, that shit sounds too good to be true.
Yeah.
And I always thought anything that you can make money in, like I like to gamble. So like I'll gamble on football.
Right.
Like I'll go to the casino and put down like the over and under or the money spread.
You know how fast it can happen then.
Yeah.
It just depends how much you're willing to risk. Right?
But I know that I'm losing that money on my decisions. You know what I mean? With
Yeah.
Forex, I'm like, yo, I could lose the money based off something I don't know.
Right.
So, but I'll tell you what, literally just a few months ago, my sister got into it.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's anyone I can trust, it's my sister.
Right.
And she was doing really well.
Yeah.
And she was like, I started out really, really small. She was like, I took my time. And she even said that there's like dummy accounts.
Yep.
Or something like that.
Demo accounts.
Demo accounts.
Yep. You
okay.
can run a demo account and get used to what I tell my people is I say, look, get used to a demo account and then go get yourself. What I do is I trade funded accounts predominantly, and that's where you go through a prop firm. They give you multiple 6 figures to scaling to 7 figures of capital to trade with. Essentially, they count on people losing, and that's where they make most of the money is on the losers. But then for the people that are winners and actually do pass the challenges, they pass 2 tiers. You have to make X amount, then you get access to this account. And they place these parameters like, oh, you can't go down below 5% drawdown a day, but then you get access to, once you pass the tiers, like let's say $300,000 account or $400,000 account, and then you trade that at 1%. Now you're risking $3,000 to $4,000 every trade. You're going for a 1 to 3 risk to reward, or you're going for a 1 to 5 or 1 to 8 or 1 to 10 or 1 to 16, or the highest trade I ever called was a 1 to 50, and I called that in my group for my people in my signals chat. So that's really where it all comes down to, is risk to reward. And where the real risk reward is really happening is when you get this challenge account, you're only ever spending a certain amount of money on it. And then you're getting access to this capital once you prove yourself to be a good trader. And then you're able to take 80 to 90% payouts of those profits. Now, where you get fucked is if you don't get with a reputable company that is actually going to pay you out. That's where you get fucked over.
I've heard about that.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
That's where you get fucked over. So
that's what scared the shit out of me, because someone was like, yeah, company just upped and left.
Yeah,
or this, or like a company just up and disappeared,
and you could just lose all your money.
I mean, this is with prop firms. Now, brokers are different. If you get with a reputable broker that's been in the game for 20, 30 years, and they have literally billions of dollars of capital in their brokerage, that's a big different story. They're not. That's very, very small chance it's ever going to disappear. But as far as prop firms go, like, this is a newer thing, in the last, I don't know, 5 years, maybe 10 years tops, where they give you access to these fake accounts essentially, and they hope that you're gonna not pass the challenge because you just spent, let's say, $1,000 to get a, I don't know, $200,000, $300,000 account, $200,000 to $300,000 account, and you trade that at 1%, whatever you're supposed to hit 10% for your first tier, then you hit 5% for your second tier, depending on which firm you go with. It may be a little different, but their whole goal is to put things in place so you fail, because they're going to make money off. They know 99% of traders fail.
Yeah,
they know.
That's like credit cards.
Yeah, 100%. They know it's all psychology at the end of the day. But for the people that do win, they want to make sure, okay, what reason can we not pay these people out? So yeah, that's a little tricky situation, which I've been fucked over in, with a sum total of $115,000. And that was, I made $101,000 in 12 hours in one trade, and they never paid me out. And now the company just, we'll say coincidentally, is getting invested by the Securities Commission of Australia. And, so
gotcha.
It all comes back around,
Yeah,
so,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Cool. Chat, if you guys have any questions for Josh or any of us, please let us know. Let me ask you a question. So you just said, what was the highest amount that you've made, and what was the biggest loss?
Yeah, so
was that also your biggest loss?
That's the thing, right? It's like that is technically my biggest loss, but I never lost it.
Gotcha.
It was just basically stolen from me.
Gotcha.
So it was like that was my biggest win, and I did that literally in Bali. So that was my biggest win, $101,000 in 12 hours. I've done 50K in a day, done 60K in a day, whatever. But that was my biggest to date, and and that was my whole goal, is like hit a $100,000 trade in a day. And it is what it is. It was bittersweet because I was like, yeah, I accomplished my goal. I did it. I really fucking did it.
Yeah.
I scaled into positions like a madman. I was on them charts like crazy, and it happened, and I did it. I did 29% on an account, a $400,000 account or whatever. And I had 115,000 because the payout was 101 after the split, and or it was 94 after the split, but the trade was 101. So yeah, it's you feel cheated in a way, and that's where like, but that's the prop firms. If you're doing your own brokerage, if you're doing your own broker and you have a live account, it can be a little different. And that's ultimately what I tell my students to do is, hey, yeah, build up these funded accounts with these reputable companies, and then get the money out of there, put it into your own personal accounts, or build other businesses with that money. And then that way you can now create different multiple streams of income. And then you have your live account, which is much more secure in a way, but you have to now take that same mentality that you were on your funded account with, trading at 1%, making those risk management protocols, solid in your plan, in your trading plan. And then that way, you don't psychologically fuck yourself because you're like, oh, now I have, 100K in a live account. I know I could risk more than the daily drawdown that they allow me. I could risk 10% right now and risk 10K. And it's like, unless you really know what you're doing as a trader, you don't want to do that. So yeah, that's why I tell my people, I'm like, look, run up the funded accounts, because the only risk you ever have is that initial payment for the actual trial of the account. And then you can make back, just on the account itself, you can make back a 1 to 50 R is your $1,000, so on and so forth. So
yo, I got a funny story. So I bet a lot on football games, right?
Yeah.
And I remember the game I was betting on the Super Bowl.
Okay.
So I made a few bets on the Super Bowl, but I went and I had like my ex at the time, she was my girlfriend. She went and she placed the ticket, and I specifically was like, yeah, make sure you bet this on the Bengals. Boom. The lady like put the same. I still got the ticket too. It's in my safe. And the lady like put the exact spread that I wanted, but she put it for the opposite team.
Damn.
And so I was like, when they won, I was like, oh, they covered the spread, because the spread was 4 and they lost by 3. So I was like, okay, cool. So when you pick the underdog, you can still win as long as they cover. That's why I always pick the underdog, because you can win if they win out, and you can win if they cover, like if they cover the spread. So if like the team that like the favorite is supposed to win by 4 points,
Okay.
as long as they win by like 3 or less, then you cover, right?
Okay.
So or 4 points, 4 or less. And so I'm like, I was happy. I went to the fucking, to cash out.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, like, have a nice night. I was like, what the fuck you mean have a nice night? They're like, oh yeah, you didn't cover. I was like, I looked at the ticket, and then I felt cheated too, because they told me they're like, you're supposed to look at the ticket before you walk away. Like you have to look at the ticket. If you don't look, like the lady made the mistake, and I remember she was like, "Oh, I've been here all day. You're my last, you're my last customer." She was like, "I'm ready to go home."
She was like, hey, I'm fucking you right now.
Yeah. I didn't know. Yeah. And so like I was like, damn, because she didn't read that ticket. I won. I made the correct bet, but like I couldn't check out, and that shit hurt.
Yeah.
That shit hurt. Like shit, but it was only 11,000, but like, it doubles. So
Right.
I was like, damn, that kind of sucks. But I know how you feel when you earn it and you still can't get it.
Yeah.
That sucks, bro.
Yeah, man. It's bittersweet, because you knew you were right. You
Yeah.
did everything right. You had it right there.
Yeah.
And then somebody's like, nah, fuck you.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, bet. You just created a whole new monster in me.
And it sucked because like I was like, damn, because when you bet that amount of money, bro, it's tough. You're taking a big risk.
Yeah.
I remember even she was like, really? She was like, really?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, fuck it. I had a what I do is like, even to this day, what I'll do is like, I'll go through all the teams that are playing. I'll be like, okay, this team's gonna win, this team's gonna win, and then at the end, like, I'm not betting. Like I did it yesterday.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, if I had bet on this team, would I have won on this team? And yesterday I was wrong on 3 teams.
Right.
Out of all the games, I was wrong on 3.
Wow.
So for the most part, like I said, I always go for the underdog. But yeah, it sucks when you lose money and it's like, you really earned it, but you can't get it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
You bet yesterday?
No, I didn't bet yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, I
That's
haven't.
like back testing and trading. How you just did that, where you're like, if I would have taken this, trade, or if I would have taken this bet, what would have been the outcome? And that's what back testing is in trading, and that's like where you can really solidify.
Yeah, I love taking risks, bro. Like that's one thing about me.
No risk, no reward.
I've always loved taking risks. That's why, like, my sister's like, you'd be perfect for this. I was like, man, I don't really know much about it. Like, I've even seen people call it like a pyramid scheme. You know what I mean? I was
that's with like the IML shit. So there's a company that I started off with. That was my introduction to it. And they're like an MLM basically. And they teach you about how to trade. And that's where I started off. And I was in there for maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 months or something. And I was like, fuck this. Like, y'all got me into recruiting people. I want to just learn how to trade. Like, I'm out of here.
So can you, for the people that don't know, can you touch on that? Because like, that's one of the things that I was like, yeah, I don't want to get into like a pyramid scheme.
Yeah. I mean, being a trader in itself, you don't got to talk to nobody. You don't have to do anything for anybody. You have no boss. You have no pay cap. You have no allotted hours. The market is 24/5.5. So you can trade anywhere, anytime, so long as you have a Wi-Fi connection. You don't need to answer to anybody or tell anybody you're doing it. And that's what was so appealing to me about it was complete self-sufficiency. I could be on a sailboat in the middle of the ocean, and as long as I have one of those devices to get me Wi-Fi, you know, it's like boom, I'm good.
Yeah.
So that's what was appealing to me about it. And with that, as far as what was the question there that you just asked?
Like how do you tell people that it's not a pyramid scheme?
Okay, yeah. As far as a pyramid scheme, sorry, that beeping, like,
yeah, that beeping is annoying.
It's like I'm real sensitive to outside noises, bro. I'm like hearing everything. But yeah, so as far as it being a pyramid scheme, like it's never going to be that if you're using a broker and you're trading your own account. The whole pyramid scheme thing comes from the company IML, and they run that whole MLM, you know, multi-level marketing. Guy at the top makes all the residuals off the people below, and blah 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 blah, whatever. So that's not trading. That is every MLM that's ever been created. That's not trading in itself, though. It's two completely separate things. They've just merged them. They took the trading niche and the MLM niche, and they merged it into a company. So yeah.
Okay, so what made you get into Forex? Like, why was that your option instead of like e-commerce or you know, all these other things you could do?
Yeah. So I saw my boy Alan. Shout out to Alan. I saw him making like, I don't know, $400 or $500 like 2-3 times a week, and he was like, yeah, bro, I'm just doing this, you know, it for an hour or two every day, like just kind of catching these trades, getting in, getting out, whatever. I'm making an extra like $4-6 grand a month, depending on how good I do, whatever. I was like, that's what's up. Like, what are you doing? Like, how do I get involved? You know?
Right.
And he told me about IML. He was in there. He like recruited me, whatever. And I started learning. I learned like the base fundamentals. I was like, look, bro, I don't want to get involved to recruit anybody. Like I said that straight out the gate. I was like, I just want to learn. And this was around when COVID happened, because I was in school for music production in Orlando, and that had like stopped, went online. And then I was just like, fuck this. They keep telling me next month. So I got out of there, stopped that, and then started looking for something to do, and found my boy's Snapchat posting that shit, and I just got involved, and then, you know, literally day 9 ever of trading, I made $511 on a $500 account. So I doubled an account in like an hour and a half or something, trading US30, the same thing I trade today. It's the most. So yeah, it was just, and that showed me that was just like, even though I lost it all like 2 days later, like that showed me it was real.
It's possible.
That showed me it was possible, and not only possible for me as well. So
Gotcha.
So are you a better trader than your friend?
Now?
Yeah, now. Neither team, bro.
Alan, you know what's up, bro. You know what's up. No,
Yeah.
Alan put me on, bro. I mean, I'm sure he's still doing his thing, but like you know, he's big into, I don't know, that man's shaking like the president's hand and shit, bro. He's in the military, so he's doing his thing.
Yeah.
Regardless. But yeah.
How does all this connect with, you know, your music and psychology and all the other things you into?
Yeah, so the psychology of being a successful trader, a lot of people I don't think will ever understand, because it is literally, if you want to become spiritually enlightened, become a successful trader, become a successful day trader, because it's you in your own mind. There's nobody else you're going against. It's not the market that's doing it to you. You're clicking the buttons. You have to take full accountability for every single action you take inside and outside the market.
Yeah.
So I tell people, I say, look, you trade how you live and you live how you trade.
Yeah.
If you're a lazy piece of shit outside of trading, you're gonna be a lazy piece of shit inside of trading. It's gonna reflect in that account.
Yeah.
So if you're disciplined, consistent, patient, you know, and relentless and resilient outside of trading, you're gonna be that inside of trading. So you're gonna have that poise to you to see the numbers fluctuate and not really be flustered by it. So yeah, as far as, man, the psychology is everything in trading. That's
how old are you, Josh? I think you said this last time, but how old are you?
Yeah, I'm 24.
24, bro. And I'll say this, man, like you see a lot of people online, they portray like this vision, like, you know, they're this way, but this guy's actually like this in real life, bro. Like he came in here and a fucking dragonfly flew in here from the fucking, I was about to kill that shit. He's like, wait, no. He's out there trying to chase this shit, trying to fucking
I saved him.
Trying to save it.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro.
I gotta tell him what that means though.
Yeah, go ahead.
For me, that is crazy.
I'm gonna step away real quick. So
yeah, you're good. You're good. So I mean, if you want to know God, you gotta start paying attention and have a certain awareness of things, and you have to understand how things syncretically align in your life. And one of the things that did happen tonight was a dragonfly flew in here as soon as he opened the door, went straight to the ceiling, whatever. And I was told that after my dad passed when I was 12 years old, that dragonflies and butterflies represent the afterlife. So that was an immediate sign for me that, you know, every time I see a dragonfly, butterfly, I think of my father. So it's just like, boom, yup, meant to be here. Here we go. There's confirmation. Keep going. Keep doing what you're doing. So you have to,
that, bro.
that's psychology. That's psychology at the highest level, because then the universe literally is telling you right in front of your face, this is exactly where you're supposed to be. This is exactly what you're supposed to do. It's just a lot of people don't have the awareness to catch those signs. And God ain't going to come to you and whisper in your ear and say, hey, my son, hey, my daughter, this is what's going on. No. He's going to give you those type of signs, and you got to be aware enough to catch them. So, yeah.
So out of Forex and, you know, psychology and your music, what's your favorite?
So, man, music was my first love. Music will always be my first love. So music is everything to me. Music saved my life. So, you know, without music, I wouldn't be here today. You know, I started listening to rap music when I heard Eminem and 50 Cent on the radio when I was 4 years old, and I fell in love with it, you know. And then my mom bought me the clean version of the tapes and shit, and just was bumping them every day, and just working out in my room, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, whatever, because my uncle was like a professional bodybuilder and put me on game about that stuff. And yeah, man, and I just fell in love with the whole idea of hip hop as a whole, and it kind of, in a sense, raised me. Because of what had happened to my father when I was 4 years old. So yeah, hip hop, man. Hip hop was my first love. Music is my first love, and that's my passion, and that's where it all runs back with the trading stuff, because I'm using the trading money to fund myself as my own label in music, and that's where you get powerful. And
I got a good question after this.
Yeah,
if God was like, you can only choose one now, which one would you choose? Because Forex is what's funding it,
right?
But you know, if you're really passionate about music, what would you stop?
You know, what's crazy is that I mean, I believe I can do many different things at once, and they say a jack of all trades is better, or a jack of all trades is better than a master of one, but a jack of all trades isn't better than a master of one, or something like that.
It's like a jack of all trades is a master of none, but
jack of all trades is still better than a master of one. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Jack of all trades is say it again one more time.
The jack of all trades is a master of none, but I don't even know still better than a master of one.
Beautiful. There it is. Yeah. So that like always stuck in my head, and I obviously didn't have it right now. It's what 5 hours of sleep does. But yeah, but yeah, it's wild, man. Like, I don't know. I don't think I'd be given that choice, but I have thought about that, because it's like at some point, you know, I may have to make that choice, and I don't think I really do. You know, behind the scenes, I could still be trading and doing all my own stuff and funding myself and then recreate the whole image or whatever. But I'm like, yo, I'm just me. I don't know. I don't buy into the bullshit, because I see, you know, I know artists out here that are asking me for money that are fucking signed under major labels that you wouldn't even believe, that look like they're popping, that are on every fucking page you could ever imagine. That are huge fucking artists, and they you know, they're renting their chains and they're making payments on that shit, and they're asking me for bread, and it's like, yo, this is crazy.
Is it because the labels take money?
I mean, the labels, you know, probably own their masters, and then the labels give them a, you know, lump sum of money, and this motherfucker never had money like that, so he goes out and spends it on frivolous bullshit, and then, you know, next thing he knows, he's reaching out to people, trying to be all buddy, and then, you know, me having a good heart, bro, I'll just be like, here, bro, boom, boom, and then, like, you know, it's just wild, man. It's
oh, so you fund those people, like,
I'm the undercover like label king right of Miami.
Label, bro.
I really could. I basically have one right now, and it just has no name, has no face, has no brand.
What's stopping you? Is it because you're doing so many other things?
I mean, yeah, I'm definitely managing a lot of things right now. So I think that would be, I mean, it would be a new experience for sure, and maybe just sign myself first, and then have it running through that, and kind of experiment how I would want it to work for the artist under my own label, and do it on myself, and then maybe present that to the world sometime in the near future. I wouldn't be opposed to that at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good idea.
Hey, onward. Do we have any chats for Josh?
We got one question. Alroza 1. Let me put up on the screen. What's the most reliable prop firm that's not betting on people losing challenges?
So I would say Top Tier Trader. There's one called the Funded Trader, and then also Fortune's Funding as well, which isn't out yet, but that's going to be I know the owners of Top Tier, and I know the owners of Fortune's Funding, and that's going to be really, really good. That's not out yet, but they're going to undercut everybody's prices. They're going to have the best spreads. They're going to be on one of the best brokers as well. So yeah, I'm excited to see what they do. That shout out to James and Airfx. So yeah.
Do you use any prop firms? yourself?
Yeah.
Like right now?
Yeah.
And then I'm guessing you have a live account also.
Yep. So I have a live account, and then I have top tier, and then I was using the prop trading, and then I will be getting the funded trader, and then also Fortune's funding as well.
And you use those maybe for your course, or is it just to keep you like training and like get better and better at it?
So those is basically for risk. I call it like risk-free trading, because essentially you spend, I don't know, $1,500 on this 400K account or whatever. Okay. Now that's the only risk you ever have on that account. So it's basically like saying I could take a $1,500 account live, and I could risk that and full margin it and see if I could just make a 1 to 5, 1 to 10 or something, and just be like, cool, whatever. Or I could take that 1,500, put it into a funded account that'll grant me access to 400K, and then I could risk, that 1% or 1.5% risk, 4 to 6K each trade, and then consistently build that up, and then take payouts, and then you're splitting it with people, and they kind of control, how you can trade that a little bit. Yeah. But ultimately, it's worth it if you don't have, what I'm saying, if you don't have tens of millions of dollars, it's like, do this way, get good this way, and then that's going to actually reflect in your live accounts. And then you can take a $1,500 account to 100K in a week or something, because you have the skill set now at a certain capacity with using those the requirements they have you stay within, as far as the guidelines they present with the 5% drawdown, 10% drawdown max, et cetera, et cetera. Okay,
because I was about to ask you, is there a limit? Because if you put 1,500 in, you get access to a $400,000 account. You can't just take that 300,000, put it in a trade, and you really make bank real quick.
Right. That's the thing with these prop firms, is that most of them ain't giving you any real money anyways. You're trading on a demo account for them, because they're pulling that money from the losers. I'm gonna give you all sauce. They're pulling the money from the losers, putting it in a pool, and then that's how they pay out the winners, and then they take the difference. So that's why they try not to pay out winners unless they're a good, reputable company like the ones I mentioned, or they try to make it very hard for you to even become a winner, and just rely on there being a lot more losers than winners. And the losers will come back for more, because they know, like, okay, people have gotten payouts from this company, but now we're going to, spend 10, 50. I know people who have spent $25,000 on funded accounts at like $1,000 a pop. And I'm like, bro, like, chill, buy the course, buy my course, get my mentorship. Yeah. You're going to save a lot of money.
Let's talk about your course.
Yeah.
What was it about?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's about exactly how I trade. So I studied I've studied probably a dozen different people, 5, 6 people pretty extensively over the last 2 years. And I've combined all that into my own strategy. And then that's what I teach my students. So that course is basically the sum of my last 2 years of knowledge gone into, basically, I think it's like 15 hours or something like that total.
Okay. And then you have a chat with it where everyone could speak and talk about their wins and losses.
Yep. So I have three main products, if you will. I have my mentorship, which is full guidance, one-on-one, also in small groups, and it's usually a 3-week, 2 sessions a week kind of program, and that is essentially the course but deeper. And then you get access to me for life. You get access to my networks. You get access to the group of individuals that really want to win, and just all the sauce. And then the course is basically 80 to 90% of that mentorship, but you don't get access to me. You won't get access to the events or parties or whatever like that, meetups, one-on-ones, lifetime guidance, right? Yeah. And then the earn and learn, or the signals, soul signals. My company is called Students of Life, and that's because I've learned through living, essentially, more than anything, through my experiences. And so I have the Earn and Learn, the Soul Signals Lounge, and that is where I call my trades, and I say, hey, I sold here, boom, 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 in this is my stop loss, these are my TPs, this is what I'm looking for, and then I go through and trade manage. I manage the entire trade the whole way, and then my people will take those same trades, and they'll make money with me, and then everybody's lit. So they usually, you could take a personal account if you don't have enough to get a funded account, and you could go on my signals, and this is kind of the blueprint. Go on my signals, you purchase the signals, you start taking trades on a, I don't know, $300, $500 account, build that up to enough to buy a funded challenge. If you already had enough to get the funded challenge, and you just get the funded challenge off rip, you trade that funded challenge with my signals, because okay, if he's profitable, I'm going to be profitable. And if he's winning, I'm going to be winning. You pass those 2 tiers of the funded account, and then you go to get your first payout. You take that first payout, you invest in the mentorship, then it all loops back around. And then now you have everything you ever need. You have the whole entire skill set. You could literally, people in my earn and learn, like they don't even want to learn how to trade. They
Yeah, that's what I was about to say,
know
like-
they just know MetaTrader, and they're like, I trust Josh enough. Like
Yeah.
literally, like they'd be like, in Josh we trust. Like in the chat, like yo, like because they know what's up. Like they literally can just click a few buttons and be making a multiple 6-figure income a year, year income off of just following my trades. So it's pretty ridiculous when you think about it like that. It's like, yo, if you're just up between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. and you can just kind of be on your phone and be aware, and I call stuff that what I'm looking for pretty early.
Oh, so you only do it those 2 hours?
Pretty much. I mean, I'll trade London session as well, which is in the middle of the night, and then I also trade Asian session, which is around like this time. But predominantly it's New York session.
Okay, so for a guy like me, I only have like maybe 30 minutes, an hour to trade and stuff like that.
Right.
And I could literally just go into your, I guess you have an app for it or a website.
Yeah. So I have studentsoflife.com. That's where you'll find the course, and then
go buy it right now.
Yeah.
If you stop,
the course
stop
is way
watching the
underpriced.
podcast, go buy it right now. They come back.
The course is way underpriced right now too. It's like I really should be charging like $3,000 for that. It's $9.99 right now.
Yeah, because you're profitable.
Yeah.
And they're copying you.
Yeah.
They're going to be profitable.
And it's basically the mentorship. So it's like it's way undervalued right now. Or way underpriced, way overvalued. But yeah, as far as that's studentsoflife.com. And then I have my Instagram. So that's where you find the link to the Telegram bots, which you sign up for the mentorship through, and you sign up for the Soul Signals launch.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I'm telling y'all, Josh he's not a grifter. I mean, you sit here last podcast and this podcast, you talk very fluent, articulate, you know what you're talking about.
Appreciate that.
It's not like you're one of these guys that's trying to sell some bullshit. You really haven't sold anything until I asked you about it, or your courses, et cetera, and then you started talking about it. It still wasn't even selling. You're still talking about it, trying to give them information, provide value before you could get value back.
Yeah, you get what you give, and I'm not here to convince anybody of how to be great. Like for the eyes to hear, or for the eyes to see and the ears to hear, like people who have it, they'll understand what I'm talking about, and people who just kind of like, oh, I just want to watch a podcast and kind of blah 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 blah, like they don't want to get any real value, then that's on them. It's like, all right, stay where you're at, But the ones who get it will get it, and the ones who don't won't. And
these people, you said they get access to your network.
Yeah, so exactly.
Okay. Yeah, bro, it's worth it. I know Josh personally. He is worth it. That's why it's definitely worth it.
Yeah.
Yo, Anwar, can we read some of the chats, bro?
Yeah, there really haven't been many coming in.
It looks like someone said, "What's the most reliable?"
Yeah, I already got that.
You got that one already? Okay, cool.
Bag 22 NWA says no other trader has more precision trading execution than the GOAT, Josh Pelton.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Austin said Josh Odinson.
And Raj Shah says fortune funding by James Storms ?
What's that?
Yeah, so that's we just talked about that briefly. But yeah, I'm going to be working with them pretty closely. I know he's going to give you payouts. I know he's very fair to the traders. He's undercutting all the other prop firms in their pricing. So yeah, definitely be on the lookout for that. If you want to get into that, hit me up on Instagram, the Josh Pelton, and yeah, I'll lead you from there. So because it's not out yet. So yeah.
Have you ever thought about starting your own broker or a prop firm?
Yeah, I've thought about it. Yeah, there may be some things in the works. So.
Man, you got a lot of things going on. A lot of things.
Yeah.
About to start his own label, the prop firm. It's coming up. He didn't want to talk about it.
I mean, I like to, because sometimes you can't say everything that's going on because people want to try and stop it before it ever happens.
Exactly.
So we'll see. I mean, there's many hands and many lands right now. So yeah.
Yeah, shout out to you, man. Like I said, he actually lives this, bro, like on and off camera. So when I first met you, man, I was watching your Instagram and I was like, yeah, this guy, he looks like he's about his shit, but you're actually about your shit, like in real life too, man. So
thank you.
Shout out to him. Yeah, bro. One last thing I'd say about the Forex thing. So what would you recommend for someone who's on the fence like me, right? Someone that wants to take that risk but doesn't know if it's worth it. What would you say?
I mean, try it, bro. If you risk nothing, you risk everything. So
would you recommend going into let's say someone has $1,000 and they're like, okay, I got $1,000. Like, what would you have them do with that $1,000?
Join the Earn and Learn and go on babypips.com, and that's all free information. And what I tell people is, hey, Baby Pips will take you from A to C, and then my course, my mentorship will take you from C to Z. So that's what I tell people. Yep, go to babypips.com, get all the free information there. Join the Earn and Learn for $199 a month or whatever. That's where I call my signals.
Mm-hmm.
And then also you can join a lifetime for $699. But if you want to just try it out for a month and see how it goes, there you go. And right now I'm actually for the next, I think, 12 hours or 16 hours or something, I'm offering a money back guarantee. I've done it for the last 3 weeks in a row because that's just how confident I am in my trades that you're going to enjoy your time in there. That, hey, if you join on Sunday or Monday, then I'm going to give you an opportunity to ask for a full refund up until the end of Friday if you don't enjoy your experience in there. And that can be for the lifetime, that can be for the $199, whatever it is. So yeah.
Damn. So they can get all their money back and still keep the knowledge.
And still keep the knowledge they gained from that 5 days of being in there. Yep.
Gotcha. Okay, that's confidence right there. All right, man. Cool. Let me see. Someone.
We got some more chat.
Yeah.
Yanka Birkenbush says, "What's the biggest life lesson you learned since you started trading? Do you see things differently? What have been personal downfalls and benefits from this?"
Yeah. So, oh man, what have I learned? Patience, discipline, consistency, and resiliency. Ultimately, and I've learned way more about myself and just how I move in life is how I move on the charts. How I move on the charts is how I move in life. And it's just directly correlated because it's your mind. It's your psychology. If you go through, a breakup, if you got something going on, your car just got totaled or something, or your dog just died, or a relative just died, or whatever it is, and you're emotionally distraught over that, and you can't handle that, don't get on the fucking charts. That's not a good day to go and play with your money. You know what I mean? So I've learned just patience and just kind of being able to have self check-ins, if you will, with my psychology, and be like, all right, look, this is what's going on right now. How do I feel? Like, what's my internal state like? You know what I'm saying? What's my mindset like today, and how am I feeling today? Because I don't want that rubbing off in my trading, me doing some dumb shit or whatever, risking too much, or just taking a trade I know I shouldn't have taken, so on and so forth. So it's taught me a lot about myself. Like I said, there's many ways to become enlightened, but if you want to truly become come to grips with knowing yourself, become a trader because it's ultimately you versus you. There's nobody you can blame. You can't blame the markets. You got to take full accountability. You got to look yourself in the mirror when you blow an account from, $13,000 to $3,000, like I did in a day that you built over a month. And that was my first 3 months of trading. And I was like, oh shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, I didn't have that money to lose, but it was like, this is the reality. So that's really now you got to accept it. You got to accept it.
The reason why that's important is because my sister was telling me the same thing. When she started, she lost. And a lot of people will get discouraged by that. They'll be like, oh shit, I lost. I'm out. You know what I mean? But she's had the patience to keep going and learn it. And then she was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
When she got the hang of it, bro, she's like, oh, I cash out. You know what I mean? She's like, I can cash out. And then now the money I'm playing with is just the profits. Yeah. So now she's making money off the profits. And so that's exactly what I believe. If I'm not mistaken, that's what she did. She invested a certain amount.
Yeah.
She was like, hey, I'm gonna make this money back, then I'm gonna pull it out.
That's right.
And then she was like, and then now everything I'm playing with is just house money.
Yep. Make back the principal and then pull out the profit. And then exactly.
So yeah. Kevin S says, how many funded accounts do you have at one time?
Yep. So I mean, you can have essentially you can have unlimited accounts essentially. With certain firms, they limit you at a certain amount of capital. So I think top tier is 600,000. I think the funded trader is 600, and I think Fortune's funding is 600. But you can scale those up. So you can scale up top tier, I think, to 2 million. You can scale up. The funded trader, I think, to 2 million, and then I'm not sure what Fortune's is going to be, but you can scale up a lot of these things, and it's like every 2 to 3 months you can increase by, I think it's 20 to 25%. So.
Is it smart to scale up, or should we take it out and then go the route of your course, et cetera, and then get a live account and then go back to the funded account?
Right. So scaling up is just a matter of making a certain percentage out of the last 2 to 3 months. So I think most firms are 5 to 6%, and it's that's easily doable. You can do that in a week or whatever. Mm-hmm. So you do your 5 to 6%. You take a 5 to 6% payout 2 months out of the last 3. Then they'll scale you up by typically it's 20 to 25%. So if you're on a 600K account, it'll go to 750 or whatever in 2 to 3 months. So
yeah. Personal question: is that how you got the AMG?
Yeah.
Shout out to the AMG. Oh shit, my sister,
got more questions.
She said that US 30 was good to me.
Yeah.
Money.
Yeah.
What the fuck is a US 30?
So US 30 is the top 30 tech. That's my main bread and butter.
That's what you're talking about at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
The indices.
That's the indices. So it's essentially 30 stocks put together in what's called an indice, and then you can trade that and the movements of that, and that is the most volatile pair, what's called pair, or instrument in the Forex market, essentially. So yeah.
So you don't touch stocks at all. You don't touch crypto at all. It's just Forex for you,
right? Just simply Forex. And
Is there a
essentially, I'm
reason for it?
trading stocks, right? Because it's like a conglomerate of them,
Yeah.
but it's not like I'm going in on, you know, whatever, sink or swim or whatever the hell.
Is there a reason for that? Is it
Um,
because it's like totally different, so you can't?
This is just what I started. I mean, if somebody would have showed me how to trade stocks and like it would have been that thing, then maybe I would have
Mhm.
done that. But
Mhm.
I found out about this, so I was
Yeah.
like, this is what I'm doing, and I just saw the potential in it.
Yeah.
And also, this is a little more unregulated, so it's just as far as like being the little guy, it's easier to get big very quick.
Right, right.
It's funny that it's unregulated too, because it's the banks.
Yeah, I mean, the banks are playing in the
They're-
unregulated
yeah, they
markets
know what
more
they're
than
doing,
anybody.
yeah.
$7 trillion a day. You know,
That's
so
fun.
And
Yo,
this,
I didn't know.
this is 24/7, right?
7 trillion a day. It's 24.5.5.
Okay,
technically.
so the weekends-
crypto's 24/7 though, but and you trade it the same way. So
I didn't know there was that much money out there, like in one day being
ridiculous.
played
ridiculous.
around with.
Yeah,
That's
just every day. It's like I think it's
Fucking
minimum
crazy.
is like 4 trillion, and then max
Yeah.
it's like 8 or 9.
So,
So,
but there's
yeah.
certain times where you can't trade. Like there's a cutoff.
Yeah, so it's Friday at 5 p.m. and then opens back up Sunday at 5 p.m.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
It's weird
Eastern
that
Standard.
I hear more about the stock market than Forex. Is there a reason behind that? Is it like they're trying to keep it hidden?
Bro, they don't want you to know how to do this shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say that if this shit is so lucrative, why is it that there aren't more people like doing it? Or maybe I
for
just haven't heard
for
about
one,
it.
it's very, very difficult. That's I think a lot of people underestimate that. Is that this is like it's as easy as you make it, but a lot of people don't even believe they're meant for, you know, $10,000 in 15 minutes. I can't do that.
Yeah, they just don't believe in
You can't
themselves. They're
even,
not competent.
they believe it's possible for them. They
Yeah.
just don't
Yeah.
believe it's possible
Right.
for
They
themselves.
believe it's possible for you because they
Right.
see you doing it.
Right.
Right.
So it's like it's
See,
for
I've
one-
always had the opposite. I've been like, if he can do it, I can do
That's
it.
right.
Yeah.
That's the mentality
You know
to
what I
have.
mean?
Exactly.
That's the mentality to have. And like I think I always say there's two types of people in the world. There's people that get inspired or insecure. And when I saw the dude in the Lambo growing up, I was like, yo, this is awesome. What does he do? Like, I want that car too. You know, but a lot of other people grew up like, man, fuck that guy. He probably inherited it from daddy
Yeah.
and this and that and that and that. And
They'll
it's
make
like,
excuses.
They'll make it, you're literally just trying to make an excuse for your own mediocrity.
Yeah,
That's it.
and it
That's
roots
it.
from insecurity, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't believe they believe another man is better than them.
Yeah.
And like, why would you believe that? Like,
Yeah.
I can't sit here and be like, you're better than me. You're better than me.
Yeah.
Now I think we're all at the same level.
Yeah.
But you know,
It's
a lot of
just-
guys don't think like that.
Yeah, most people have the same amount of potential for the most part. It's just a lot of people don't work in the off season.
Mhm.
You know, that's it.
Yeah, that off season says a lot.
Yeah.
Someone says, Nas 100 humbled me many times.
Yeah, Nas 100 is the other one I trade, and yeah, Nas 100. I mean, it holds structure better than US 30, and now we're talking like real trade talk. But yeah, it holds structure better than US 30, but it you know, it's still a monster of its own. So you just got to put in your hours. That's it.
I mean, but people really don't even know how to trade. They could just join your course and
They
could get free money, basically.
I mean, they could join the Earn and Learn and literally, you know, click a few buttons. And if you know how to use MetaTrader 4, you join the Earn and Learn. And let's say you have I have people do this. I had somebody pass 3 funded challenges, and he's now funded with 3 accounts, multiple 6 figures. That literally never even got my course.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna have him on Instagram live soon. Literally never even got my course. My course wasn't even out when he found me. I'm the only person he's ever learned from. Never even got my mentorship, anything like that. He just paid attention to all the free sauce I did on my live Instagrams, all the free webinars I did, all the webinars I did inside the Earn and Learn, and he just paid attention to that stuff. And I wasn't even giving it all the way. And sometimes I'd throw a little sauce in there and see who would catch it. And he was taking notes on everything. And now he's running up a fucking bag all the time. And he's been doing it for like 8 months.
You still be dropping this little sauce here and there. I'll be seeing your lives.
Oh yeah, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all throughout it, and even just like the posts I make and stuff like that on Instagram, bro. Like it's like if you're paying attention, you're gonna see it all. Like I've pretty much taught everything I've ever I do in the markets out there. It's out there somewhere. You just got to go look for it, really.
And one last question. So did someone teach you, or did you have the initiative to learn on your own?
I mean, I ultimately had the initiative when I saw my buddy doing it. But yeah, I mean, I don't believe in being self-made. I learned from everybody. So I think anybody that says they're self-made is fucking full of shit. Like they're absolutely full of shit. You can't be self-made. You didn't even birth yourself. What the fuck are you talking about? You're self-made, you know?
Right.
It's like you just got a big ass ego and you need to be checked and realize that people came before you. They put you on game. Somebody taught you something.
Yeah.
You read a book, you looked up something, somebody told you some way to do, like, oh, you just went out there. And even if you go on just Google and learn from YouTube University, you're learning from somebody on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know? So it's a lot of people say, oh, I'm self-made. No, you're not. So yeah, I learned from, man, I learned from probably somewhere around a dozen different traders, and then like I said, I studied 5 or 6 extensively. So yeah,
I think it's because a lot of people don't like being compared to someone else, but you could take inspiration from someone else and create it into your own thing.
Yeah.
But let's say I'm getting compared to, I'm just using Andrew Tate for this example.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that bad? Is that a bad thing to be compared to someone that you respect so much?
I don't think so. I mean, if you got respect for somebody and you're being compared to them, I don't know. I think a lot of people don't want to give credit where it's due.
Yeah.
And that's just on them. And if you have that mentality, you're not going to make it very far in life, because people just don't want to be around that shit.
Yeah.
I don't want to be around somebody who isn't grateful and like doesn't give credit where credit's due, and doesn't like say thank you and have manners, and like isn't cordial and like has good mannerisms and behavior patterns. Like, I want to be around you, bro. Like that's broke mentality. Like you want to be out here like, oh no, I can't give nobody credit. Like, I just want this all for my own, yourself, motherfucker. Bro, no. I want the whole team to win. I want everybody to win. There's $7 trillion a day market. Like, we can all fucking make $1 billion a day, and it would barely touch the market.
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't move it. Like,
that's where, and you see that a lot, like with minorities, we're always competing, always competing. And you see like the richest people dress in Levi's and shit, you know what I mean? You see minorities dressing in Gucci and shit like that.
They tricked a lot of people.
Yo,
bro.
that's crazy.
It's a trick.
Not only that, but like even like with like Fresh and Fit, you know what I mean? I used to watch the way that fucking Myron used to work. I used to tell him all the time, this nigga's like the hardest worker, and I was like, boom, let me just watch this dude. You know what I mean? And you learn a lot from people if you just watch. You don't even have to say anything, just watch. And when you take down from winners, bro, and you can use that, like, and now here we are. You know what I mean? So same. But after this show, though, we're definitely gonna talk about Forex, bro.
Yeah,
I'm definitely interested. I'm definitely interested. Are there any days that you avoid trading US30?
Yeah, absolutely. Every day is not a trading day.
That's from Ja.
That's a huge key, is like people want to trade every single day. Or like they'll ask me, how many signals do you send a day? I'm like, well, sometimes it's 2 or 3, sometimes it's 0, because I just don't see nothing, or I'm just like, you know what? Nah, I know the market's gonna be a little weird today, like because there's no news events, there's no real volume kicking in, nobody's like Powell isn't speaking, whatever. So yeah, absolutely. There's definitely days not to trade 100%.
I like that you said that, because that means you're not gambling.
Right.
You're not sitting here be like, well, I feel like making money today, so I'm just gonna throw it in and see what happens. Yeah. You're like, nah, I'm gonna wait, make sure I'm 100% profitable. Yeah. Maybe I'm not profitable, but at least I rated for the time.
It's probabilities. It's probabilities and risk to reward, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the best probability, and if we don't see something setting up on a higher time frame to give us the best probability, we're not probably looking for much. If we are, then it's like we know that, okay, if we get into this, it's probably going to be choppy. It's probably not going to have the volume we want. And is it even worth it? Probably not. Let me just go live my life, so.
Gotcha. I'll take one more from Arosa. And Arosa says, are you buying crypto right now?
Am I buying crypto right now? Yeah. Maybe. I mean, not currently. I haven't bought any crypto recently, but I mean,
fuck no.
I mean, it's just
look at the FTX.
I mean, I don't know.
Hey, it's low.
It's yeah, exactly. It's low, right? So it's like I think Warren Buffett has something about that where like when everybody got scared, I forget with which company, he was like, I got more greedy. You know? And when everybody's fearful, you got to get greedy. When
I read
greedy,
about
you
that.
got to get fearful.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's like, because essentially the market is human emotions for the most part, and then it's the big boys playing with everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're trading essentially human emotion, and yeah, I mean, I don't know. I could probably look at the structures right now and tell you where we would go. I know I believe that we're coming to a recession, a pretty big recession.
It's funny. All the real successful millionaires say that.
Yeah.
They're all saying the same thing. They're like, yeah, we're coming on one.
Yeah.
Is it bad that like I'm happy?
Time to buy.
Yeah,
it's
that's
time to buy everything.
I'm ready to make some fucking money.
Yeah,
like,
the billionaires of tomorrow will be made within the next 2 to 6 months.
Yeah, definitely.
How I see it.
Yeah, that's crazy, because even like the housing market's changing.
Yeah.
So everything's changing.
Oh yeah.
I'll read this one last one because it's kind of interesting. It says, "Yo, Josh, what are you normally shoot for? Traders don't usually like sharing that."
Oh yeah, 1 to 3 minimum. Yeah, that's probably who said that.
That's Brandon Grant.
What up, bro? Yeah, no, that's hilarious, bro. People.
Why is it that traders don't like to share certain stuff?
Because
you just said you like to see everybody win.
Yeah, they're motherfucking frauds. That's why. That's the simplest.
They don't want to get exposed online.
They're like, oh, I shoot for a 1-to-1. Like their first TP means take profit. Their first take profit is is a 1-to-1 risk to reward. And it's like, bro, if I'm risking $5,000, I want to make at least 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You're going for a 1-to-1. Like that's really, you're thinking about closing out when you're up $5,000 and you just risk $5,000. Like, I mean, I guess, but that's not me. So I do if I don't make a 1 to 3, I feel like I lost.
Gotcha.
Like 1 to 3 minimum. So if I'm risking that $5,000-6,000, I want to make $15,000-18,000. So yeah.
Smart man.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We're gonna get ready for the night show. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Any closing statements from you guys?
What drops to the GOAT?
Yeah,
That's all
Josh.
I wanna say, Josh. Oh, can you talk about your course again?
Yeah,
where they can find it?
I guess we'll put it on a bio, right, on the description.
Yeah. Yeah. My Instagram at the Josh Pelton. Just the and my name. No spaces, no underscores, nothing like that. And then link in my bio for everything there. It'll take you to a link tree, and then you have everything on there as well. My website is studentsoflife.com. That's for the course. That'll tell you a little bio about me as well, and you can kind of see a little more about me there. And yeah, appreciate y'all having me on. And
hell yeah,
yeah,
you gotta start getting you like every other week, bro.
I'm down.
Yeah, and I'm definitely talk to him about this. I'll let you guys know for sure how it goes because I'm trying to get an AMG too. All right, guys. See you later.
It's only a matter of time.